It was one of those still, golden mornings in late August when the Texas heat hadn't yet turned vicious. I was standing in the open doorway of the old red barn on my 380-acre cattle ranch, feed bucket in hand, watching the sun climb over the live oaks. That's when the white SUV rolled through my front gate like it owned the place. No honk, no wave, no slowing down. Just two men in crisp gray uniforms, roof light bar gleaming even though it wasn't flashing, shoulder patches reading Summit Ridge Estates Community Safety, Authorized Patrol. They drove straight past me, 40 feet away in plain sight, eyes locked forward as if I were part of the fence line. They followed my gravel access road east, past the equipment shed, past the windmill and water trough, down to the creek crossing where the road dips and the cattle sometimes gather. They idled there 3 minutes exactly, engine humming, nobody stepping out. Then they turned around, came back the same way, and exited without a glance. 11 minutes total on my land. I stood frozen the whole time, bucket forgotten, feeling that slow burn you get when someone walks into your house uninvited and acts like they're doing you a favor. I pulled my phone, zoomed in, snapped the license plate as they disappeared north toward the county road. Then I walked to the tack room, took down the green logbook my father had started back in the 70s, the same one I've kept every season since I took over the place. I wrote the entry the way Dad taught me. Date, time, vehicle description, route, duration, notes. At the bottom, in brackets, not law enforcement. Confirm with county. Document every entry. I called Tom Riley, my neighbor to the north. Tom retired after 22 years with the county sheriff's department. He bought his 12 acres because he wanted land where the nearest porch light wasn't visible after dark. I described the SUV, the uniforms, the light bar, the whole arrogant pass-through. Tom listened quietly, the way old deputies do when they're already running facts through their head. Private security, he said finally. HOA hired muscle dressed up to look official. They've got exactly the same right to cross your property without permission as I do, which is none. That light bar? Decoration. Uniform? Costume. No badge, no warrant, no jurisdiction. I asked if there was any chance the county had deputized them or given special permission. Tom gave a dry chuckle. Not a snowball's chance. Private patrols don't get county authority. They get a paycheck and a dress code. The next morning I called Sarah Klein, my property lawyer in the county seat. Sarah had handled boundary fights, water rights disputes, and more than one rancher versus developer case over the past 20 years. She listened to my story, asked a few sharp questions, then said she'd pull the records on the eastern road strip, the narrow 340-foot ribbon of asphalt and gravel that connected Summit Ridge Estates to the county highway. She called back that afternoon. Her voice was calm, but edged with something I recognized as controlled anger. Decker, she said, how long have those 260 families been driving across your land to get home? I didn't have an answer right then, but I knew the logbook would start telling the truth. Twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, that white SUV returned. Same route, same 3-minute pause at the creek, same silent exit. Different drivers sometimes, but always the same confident pace, as if the gate were a formality and my ranch were just another HOA common area. I photographed every pass, logged every detail. Entry time, exit time, number of occupants, any variation, there weren't many. By mid-October, I had 23 entries. Solid, dated, cross-referenced with photos. I called the sheriff's dispatch one September afternoon and asked straight out, is Guardian Edge Security registered with the county as an authorized patrol? Do their people have any right to enter private property without permission? The dispatcher checked, came back in under a minute. They're a state-licensed private security firm. No county registration beyond that. No law enforcement powers. No right to enter private land without consent. Same as any citizen. I thanked her, hung up, and added the confirmation to the logbook in neat block letters. Meanwhile, up on the ridge, Summit Ridge Estates was a tidy, upscale subdivision built in 1999. Big lots, brick and stone houses, a clubhouse with a pool and fitness center. Their HOA president, Elena Hart, had been in the job 4 years. She was organized, energetic, the kind of woman who treated board meetings like corporate strategy sessions. 8 months earlier, she'd pushed through the community safety patrol after a string of minor incidents. Unfamiliar vehicles at night, a shed broken into, and some lawn equipment stolen. Residents were rattled. Attendance at the next board meeting hit 43, highest in years. The vote for the patrol was unanimous. Elena chose Guardian Edge after comparing 3 bids. She liked their professional presentation, the roof light bar's visual deterrent she'd read in a security magazine, and the $67,000 annual contract funded by a special assessment. The 19-page agreement got a quick summary at the July meeting. Nobody read the full text. Paragraph 14, tucked in the operational scope section, said patrol operations may include adjacent corridor access as operationally necessary. Elena took that to mean the patrol could extend to the natural edge of the community. On the framed developer map in the clubhouse lobby, my ranch was shaded tan and labeled undeveloped adjacent buffer zone. It was marketing art from 1999, not a survey, not a deed, but she treated it like gospel. So the patrol route was drawn, through my gate, down my road, pause at the creek, back out. Twice weekly. Paid for. Authorized, by her at least. I didn't call Elena. Didn't post signs. Didn't wave them down. I just kept logging. Let the record grow. Then came her letter in late October. Single page on HOA letterhead. Polite but firm. The patrol had identified my eastern boundary as a community security concern. She requested my cooperation with patrol access corridor requirements for the safety of residents. No mention of deeds, easements, or permission. Just the assumption that community safety trumped private property. I scanned it, emailed it to Sarah with one line, third document for the file. Sarah called 2 hours later. Not about the letter. The title search was complete. Decker, she said, voice steady but carrying weight, that 340-foot road strip is yours. Fee simple. Deeded to your father in 1973, transferred to you in 1995. No easements, no rights of way, no recorded agreements of any kind. The developer in 99 built the connection and told the county it was existing right of way. They never checked the deed. They lied on a public permit application. 25 years. Every morning and evening commute. Every grocery run, school drop-off, ambulance call. All across my land. Without a dime paid. Without a signature. The silence on my end lasted a long time. Not shock, exactly. Just the slow click of pieces falling into place. I'd crossed that strip thousands of times myself, never once thinking to question who owned the dirt under the asphalt. Sarah continued, "We have a trespass case that's airtight, 23 documented entries, photos, logs, sheriff confirmation. And we have declaratory relief on the road. But we build it carefully. Survey first. Chain of title. Then we move." We did. Surveyor David Ellis tied every measurement to county monuments. His plat showed the road terminus pin sitting exactly on my western boundary, 340.3 feet of my property beyond it. Title expert Robert Hayes traced every instrument back 50 years. Clean chain, zero encumbrances. Sarah organized my logs into a courtroom-ready chart, annotated the guardian contract. Paragraph 14 created zero rights against me. Attached Tom's notarized statement, the phony 99 permit, Elena's letter. The complaint ran 43 pages, 8 exhibits. Causes, trespass and declaratory judgment, affirming ownership and no access rights. I ordered 3 4-inch steel bollards, dark green powder coat, ranch spec. They arrived on a flatbed the Friday before the first Tuesday in December. I stored them in the equipment barn with 9 bags of concrete and waited. Dawn, December 4th. Headlamp on, truckwork lights blazing. I marked 3 positions across the strip, 8 feet east of the county monument, so I didn't touch public road. Dug the holes in the hard valley soil, set each post plumb, poured concrete, checked levels 4 times each. By 9:05, the laminated sign was bolted to the center bollard, private property, road access beyond this point subject, TO owner authorization. Contact Sarah Klein, Klein Property Law. At 9:30, Sarah filed the complaint at the courthouse and sent certified mail to the HOA. I parked on my side of the Bollards, camera ready, and waited. The Guardian SUV appeared at 10:43, slowed at 200 feet, stopped 4 feet from his center post. Driver read the sign, sat still a long minute, then radioed dispatch. 14 minutes later, he three-point turned and left. I logged it, same format as the previous 23. By evening, the backup started. First car at 4:42, then 7, then 14, then 18. Residents read the sign, called neighbors, walked the 340 feet home, or crawled the northern ATV trail. Tom watched from the county pull off and called, "They're stacking up like rush hour on I-35. Elena received the packet at 11:15. Suspended patrols immediately. Called her attorney, Mark Donovan. Residents flooded the community forum. Michael Lee, a civil engineer who'd lived there since 2006, spent the evening pulling county records. At 5:30 Wednesday morning, he posted, "The road strip, what the records actually show. Methodical, no drama. Deed dates, permit language, no easement, no right-of-way. Facts only." The thread hit 290 replies by 9 a.m. Questions poured in. Emergency meeting? Board responsibility? Patrol connection? Wednesday evening, the board met in closed session. Mark Donovan laid it out flat. No viable defense. Trespass case strong. Bollards legal. Road ownership clear. Recommend terminate patrols permanently. Negotiate easement. Elena sat silent. Laura Benson, a former land use planner, asked the question nobody wanted. Whose job was it to catch the road issue in 1999? No answer came. Elena resigned Friday morning. Short email, no explanation. Laura stepped in as interim president. She called Sarah that afternoon. Board won't contest the deed or survey. Goal: recorded easement, trespass resolution, permanent patrol termination. I removed the center bollard Saturday morning. Left the outer two as boundary markers. The road opened. A resident posted a photo to the forum. It's open. Thank you. Settlement took 2 days. Easement drafted. Permanent, referencing David's survey and my bollard line. Fair payment for 25 years use. Formal HOA acknowledgement that the 23 patrols were unauthorized trespass. Guardian contract terminated for cause. Recorded statement affirming my deed clean since 1973. I signed in Sarah's office the last week of December. Drove home past the 2 remaining bollards, now legal reference points in county records. Fed the cattle as the sun dropped. Sat on the porch with a logbook open. 53 pages. From that first August morning to settlement. Tom called. Done. Done. We laughed quietly about the uniforms, the light bar, the belief that gear equals right. But right comes from the deed. Always the deed. What do you think about this whole situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially on the bigger questions of injustice, property rights, and how far someone should go when their land and privacy are violated. Do you side with the rancher standing his ground, or do you think the HOA residents deserved more grace? Take a stand. I'd love to hear your perspective.